Welcome to Ametek Chandler Engineering's How-To video series. My name is Greg Moss, and today I'm going to take you through configuring 5270 on a computer, adding an edge port hub, and adding a couple of instruments.
The most conventional way to communicate via our serial ports is with the edge port hub. Notice we have two files here, Chandler 5270 DAC software and the version 5.70 of the edge port driver. So the first thing we want to do is click on that and install it. And once we get it installed, we're going to go to the device manager and we're going to check our connections to make sure they were installed properly. So we'll go to our device manager, we'll open, we'll go to comms and LPT, and you'll notice their edge port and COM 4, 5, 6, and 7, and also occupying ports 1 through 4 on the edge port. So that means our installation was successful. Now we'll install the 5270 software. We'll acknowledge the agreement and click Next. This process may take a little bit longer depending upon your PC, as it has to install the security key also at the end of this. In our case, we already have the security key mounted. And click Finish when you're done, and this is the first screen that you'll see when 5270 comes up. Next, I'm going to configure an I/O port. Tools, Configure I/O Connections. Click a new one, and I'm installing a consistometer, so I want Modbus. I click OK, and then I'm going to select a COM port based upon where I have it plugged in. And now I'm going to put 7322 there, and I like to identify the instrument. It's easier to identify the I/O port when you're configuring later. So next we're going to install an instrument. So Tools, Configure Instrument. We're going to go down to our 7322. And we're going to give it a name. We can use any name here, and of course any serial number, but obviously you want to use the serial number of your system. And we'll now make the I/O connection. We noticed we named it 7322, so we picked it and used the address 1:402F, which is for our Watlow controllers. Next, we'll do the pressure. Again, selecting the I/O port of 7322, and now we'll go 2:403F. And for the consistency, it is 3:402F. Now for our wall temperature, we want to use 1:482F. Now this is to talk to the temperature controller so that we can still use the same 7322, but in this case, it is device number 1. And our pressure controller is device number 2. We don't configure any motor on this one, but if we just want on, off, or hesitation squeeze, we can go 4:1. And next, finish. Now we have that instrument, and let's go see what we can see here. And notice the temperature, and we're showing pressure. Everything has green lights. So that portion of the process is done. Now, we'll go back to the main page, and I'm going to, so to add the UCA, we're going to need an I/O port. So once again, Tools, Configure I/O. We'll go to Analog Devices this time because it's a UCA. Okay, and then we'll select our COM port, and we'll name it UCA so we know what it is. Alright, now let's configure a twin UCA. So Tools, Configure Instruments, New, and that's our model 4262. We'll click Next and give it the 4262 and left, and you configure the left side and then the right side separately even though they use the same I/O connection. So now we'll pick UCA, and the left side is always even numbers, so temperature is 2 and the transit time is 4 for the left side. Okay, so now you notice it's got the instrument configured. Now we're going to change the JPEG or the picture on there to reflect the left side. So we're going to go down here and pick 4262 left. And then we're going to go to Tools, Configure, and Instruments again. And we're going to add the 4262 again. This time we'll call it the right side. And then notice that I'm going to use UCA again, except this time I'm using odd numbers. 1 is temperature, and 3 is the transit time. Instruments created. Now we need to come to the JPEG and pick the one for the right side. And now notice we got a shaded left side and a shaded right side. We're going to check our connections, and you notice the transit time is red and green blinking. That's because we have no bar in there for calibration or any sample right now. So that's the reason why it's doing the red and green invalid response. Now we're going to check the right side. And again, we'll see that there's temperature and the same green-red blinking until we actually calibrate the instrument.
Thank you for watching this installment of the AMETEK Chandler Engineering how-to videos. If you have any more technical questions regarding this video, please click on the link below.